Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar. We're about to start this session. So while everyone else is joining, let's give everyone some time to join. I'll tell you a few words about myself. My name is Anfisa Komaryenko and I work here with Grade Education Center as a teacher, and also we are working on creating online studies, online courses for other students. So we are creating content for those, and I'm also engaged in this activity. And as you know, today we are going to talk about writing IELTS essays. So let me know if you can hear and see me well. Just put a plus in the chat box if you can hear and see. Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so you're active, great. That's great. We're going to interact a lot today. Let's keep this activity level. And let's just start very quickly from letting everyone know where you're from. So all of you are from Kiev, or maybe there are some other cities, some other towns. Ternopil, cool. Rivne, okay. Yeah. So most Lviv. Yeah, actually Lviv and Kiev look pretty much the same. So just while everyone else is joining, let's Odessa, great. Yeah, seems to be from different parts of Ukraine, from different corners. Okay. So let's just give everyone, some more time. So guys, who of you have already taken IELTS? Just type yes, and who is going to type going to? Wow, so not yet, going to, some yes. So we've got a bunch of people who have some experience and other people who are going to survive this test. Yeah, successfully. Let's wish everyone and with proper preparation. Yeah. Okay, just maybe one more minute so that everyone could come. Yeah, because people keep joining. Oh, TOEFL, great. Also good experience, and I think you've got heaps of insights from TOEFL that you could implement in IELTS as well, using IELTS as well. Yeah, that's great. Any language test gives you immense amount of insights and experience, and yeah. So you can use maybe FC or some other tests, English tests that you have taken. That would be great as well. Right. Okay, so once again, hi everyone. Today we got together to talk about 5 steps to plan an IELTS essay. We'll be talking about agree, disagree essay, or as it is also called opinion essay. But basically these principles can be applied, all these 5 principles and 5 steps can be applied to plan any kind of essay, and not only IELTS essay, I'd say so. Let's start by discussing why planning is important and what exactly can we plan. Just type in your ideas and share with everyone. So why planning is important and what exactly can you plan? Limited in time. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, once again, so some people say planning is a waste of time, but no, it actually saves time. Agree, Alona. Yeah. Structure is assessed. Absolutely, we will see it. Yes. Yes, Oksana. Any other ideas of what exactly we can, yeah, think about vocab, yeah, and phrases. Yeah. To avoid repetition, right. To provide coherence and cohesion. Okay, so you're guys familiar with these words, cohesion and cohesion, coherence and cohesion. Great, great job. Clear ideas. Yeah, I like this one even more. Right, Helen. Okay, let's have a look. So to understand why planning is important and what exactly we will plan, we will go right now through IELTS criteria, assessment criteria, which examiners use when they check our essays, IELTS essays. And you probably know, I see that many of you know, that there are 4 criterion, and one of them is coherence and cohesion. So they are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, a lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. So my question will be, why task achievement, this one? Why does it go first? What's so important about it? What do you think? We have specific topic, right? It is a main criterion of assessment. Exactly, yeah. Specific kind of essay, that's right. Yeah. Alona, you want to correct yourself. It's the main, and then you write one of the main. I'd say yes, it's number 1, and it's not by chance that it goes as number 1. Yeah, so I'd agree with you to go along with that. Right. So when we talk about task achievement, here I put some description of task achievement for band 7. And it says that your essay addresses all parts of the task. Addresses, it means answers all questions, all parts of the task. Yeah, it presents a clear position, your opinion, clear, yeah, once again, throughout the response. And presents, extends, and supports main ideas. And what we know about task achievement, what's important is that meaning goes before the form. Just as in any classroom or in life generally, yeah? First we have meaning and then we put it into the form. So task achievement is meaning. How well you have communicated the message which you are asked to communicate, yeah? Because you have a question, you have to answer it. Yeah? So there is a rule which is not written anywhere, and it's actually not quite a rule, but if you get a lower band in task achievement and higher bands in other criteria, then you don't have like many chances to get higher bands, yeah, higher than 6.5, for instance, if your task achievement score is 5.0. So it sort of drags you down. That's why when planning, task achievement is number 1 thing. Then let's have a look at coherence and cohesion, which has been mentioned already by you. So is it more important, let's think, than lexical resource or grammar? we see here again that it requires us to logically organize information and ideas, to have a clear progression throughout the essay, and to present a clear central topic within each paragraph, things that we call topic sentences, and keeping to this topic sentences, you see? So it's not just one sentence, but also everything else that follows should support it, which is important. So let's just have a look at one example to see how coherence and cohesion may be crucial. It's just one sentence, but let's read it and think what the problem is in it. Can anyone spot a problem here? What mistake? Can you be more specific? Right, there is a mistake. Repetition. Ludmila, can you be more? Okay, yeah, grammatically should be although tourism, right? Agree with you. But even if we cross out that, even if we do it, yes, agree with you. That we don't need that. But even without that, somebody wrote about repetition. What do you mean? Wrong linker. Okay. Why wrong linker, Natalia? Tautology. Okay, right, you are. Yeah, so I think I got your message. So guys, although introduces contrast, but these two exactly, yes, Elena, but these two ideas are the same. They are not contrasting. So even if we cross out that, everything seems to be all right, yeah, at first sight, but then when we read, there is no logic behind it. This is how it is important to link your ideas correctly and to think about clarity. Yeah? So once again, it will be meaning, which is task achievement, meaning, yeah, which will be task achievement, and number 2 will be clarity, which will answer for coherence and cohesion. Yeah, 2 important things, and we will try to plan those. Now, another thing is grammatical range and accuracy. And my question is, why range and accuracy, not accuracy and range? Any ideas? Range contributes to better to task achievement. Maybe it can, Elena. Yes, agree with you. Variety comes first. Yes. In terms of language, that's true. So we're sort of, like probably it comes from our school experience, primary, secondary school, even university, that we often have this stereotype that accuracy goes first, but actually in the criteria, range goes first. It's very important. Let's look at 2. Yes, everybody. Yeah. A wide range of grammatical structures. Provided accuracy is bearable, of course. Yes, I like this, by the way, this thing, Elena, that you mentioned about bearable accuracy. We will talk about it. So let's have a look, first of all, at range, how it influences the score. So if we look at grammatical range and accuracy, band 5, it says uses a limited range of structures and attempts complex sentences. So attempts means that they are probably not always correct. They may be slightly incorrect, but there are attempts. And here in band 4, uses only a very limited range of structures. So we see how attempts differ, how they move us upwards. One band difference. This is huge. And as for accuracy, yeah, accurate simple constructions will get a lower score than varied structures with occasional inaccuracies. Yes, Elena, that's absolutely true. The thing about mistakes is we are not going to discuss it in detail here, but it is to make your essay clear and to avoid mistakes which will stop the reader from understanding you. So mistakes should not prevent the reader from understanding your message. This is the key thing about accuracy. Yeah? If there is a slip, it's not a big deal. Yeah, but if it stops the reader and they have to come back and read again and again, then that is the problem with mistakes. So in this webinar, we're going to focus on planning complex sentences, complex structures. So let's sum up what we are going to talk about more specifically. There are 5 key steps to plan your essay. We will talk about the task, how to analyze the task, how to make your position clear throughout the essay, how to structure, organize your essay very well. We will talk a little bit about ideas and vocabulary, less, so mainly ideas and just a little bit vocabulary, and complex grammar. So all these things can be planned before you start writing the full essay, and we'll see how. This will be our topic. I'll give you a few moments to read it. So some people believe that restoration of old buildings costs too much and this money should be spent on building modern ones. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Guys, just one question about the word restoration. Does it have to do with restaurants here or with repair? Repairing things. Just let me know that you understand. Yeah, it's about repairing, right, okay, thank you. So, think how you would paraphrase this situation, these 2 first sentences. So, some people believe that restoration of old buildings costs too much and this money should be spent on building modern ones. Think how you would paraphrase those. Yeah, repairing, of course. Now, Ludmila, just making sure, because there were cases, yeah, people thought about restaurants, so. Okay. So how would you paraphrase? If you have ideas, you can type or just think in your head. All right, now you have some ideas in your head. Let's have a look at 4 A, B, C, D, 4 options. Okay, we've got some ideas here. Great, guys. You've been very active. Thank you. It is believed that renovation of ancient built dwellings are considered to be exorbitant. Oh, such nice vocab. Remodeling of old buildings considered to be costly by some people. Right. So, very nice paraphrasing. Ancient premises is thought to be expensive. Right. So let's have a look. 4 paraphrasings, for ways to paraphrase. Which of them is okay and why others are wrong? Okay, let's think about it. Which one is okay? Okay. So we have different ideas. Mm-hmm. Like all of them, yeah, are okay, seem to be. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So let's have a look. So C is the best one, and most of you, yeah, guessed correctly. And let's have a look at A. Why it's not good? Yeah, because it basically says the opposite of the task says. Yeah, of what the task says. So some people believe that restoration of old buildings costs too much, so new buildings should be built. And here it's more costly to construct modern buildings than to repair. So wrong. Then expenses on renovation are really high because they're in poor condition. Some people liked this option, but is it full? See, it doesn't include the second idea that money should be spent. Yes, not the whole task. Right. It's fine. Absolutely. Don't worry, guys. It's okay. So we are learning to be more attentive because it's IELTS. And D also seems to be all right at first sight, yeah? But it doesn't say, instead of construct new buildings instead of repairing old ones, but why? What's the problem with renovating old buildings? And the problem is that it costs too much. And here we don't have this information. So the takeaway is when you paraphrase, try to paraphrase all key information, all key facts from the task. Don't lose important bits of meaning. Yeah, so basically as a result of step 1, we have half of our introduction ready. We may have half of our introduction ready. For example, it is often claimed that it is excessively expensive to repair buildings which are in a decrepit state. Instead, it is recommended that these funds were allocated for new construction projects. Yeah, so just like that. We have money, we have new, we have old. So all are here. Now, the next step for us is to choose our position. So what position can you choose generally? What options do we have? What are just all the options that we have? Agree, disagree, for or against, yes. Right, partially agree. And if you think of which position to choose, do you have to be honest? Do you have to choose the position that you really feel is right? No, yeah? Why not? Not necessarily. Nobody will check. Yeah, that's a good one. Nobody's going to check whether you really think so. And this is a test limited in time. You don't have much time to think what you really feel. Yeah, so you should go, right, think about the reasons to confirm the position. That's it, right. So if you have ideas to go for agree, go for it. If you have ideas for disagree, choose disagree. If you're not honest, your arguments will be weak. See, Anna, yeah, on the one hand, I agree with you, but on the flip side, basically all these topics in IELTS, they are very controversial. And when you look at these issues from one side, you just see one heap of arguments, and from the other side, you have another bunch of arguments. So basically, you may still be honest, yeah, just looking at it from one perspective. But if you feel more confident being honest, okay, go for it. So let's have a look. So we've got here agree, disagree, partially agree are possible. And you should not, you don't have to, not should not, you don't have to choose your real position, but you should choose the one which you have more ideas for, more arguments for. And one more thing about partially agree. I saw that some of you have mentioned partially agree. So it's often easier to fully agree or disagree than to choose this partial position. Because when you partially agree, you have to think like to what extent and how it is, yeah? So it's probably easier to agree fully or disagree fully, because otherwise, like if we come back to our topic, like which buildings should be restored, some of them should be and some of them should not, so you will have to draw a line. So this is just a recipe for disaster. Okay, so the position should be clear, yeah? And as a result of step 2, we will get the full introduction with a clear position. So personally, I am convinced that older buildings, older pieces of architecture are as important as modern ones and must therefore be restored to their original beauty, even if the costs are high. Yeah? Even if the costs are high, they must be restored. So I am convinced. So my position is clear. There is no doubt as for what I think about it. The next thing to think about is structure, how to organize everything. So we have our position and we need to make it clear throughout the essay, which is number 1 point in Band 7 descriptor of task achievement. We need to present a well-developed response to the question with relevant, extended and supported ideas. And it should be logically organized, and there should be a clear progression throughout. Yeah, so we have introduction, which states, which tells the reader what the essay, the rest of the essay will be about. And we should have a clear progression throughout. How to organize the essay to fulfill these requirements is our question. So what do you think should be there? How many paragraphs? What kind of paragraphs should be there? What are your thoughts on this? Okay, 2-3 body paragraphs and conclusion. At least 2 with 2 reasons to support. Okay, yeah, so we are on the same page. Great job. Yeah, basically, this is the structure of our introduction. So we have a situation, paraphrase, task, and our position, what the essay will say, and body 1, body 2, conclusion. Now, somebody mentioned that there should be reasons to support and the conclusion. Yeah. So in body paragraphs, there should be reasons. Agree, absolutely. What should be in the conclusion if we give reasons in body paragraphs? See, our introduction has restate your opinion. Okay. Paraphrased, right? Agree. Summarize ideas. Which ideas should be summarized in the conclusion? Okay, let's see. So we will have reason 1 for your position. You need to summarize your ideas from body paragraphs. Yes, Svetlana, that's absolutely true. And restate your position. Yeah, agree. Which were mentioned, right? Right, so in body paragraphs, we write reasons, we have main idea, and we support it with explanations and examples or examples. You don't have to give examples, but if you feel that you can, so go for them. And in the conclusion, we restate our position and summarize the reasons from body paragraphs. It's important not to give new ideas, new reasons in the conclusion, because otherwise it will be a bit strange. So the conclusion should summarize and restate. Sometimes just people say, and on top of that, yeah, and then they write one more thing. But okay, finished with this one, and our next step will be to brainstorm. So here we have a skeleton. This is our skeleton, and we need to feel it. We need to brainstorm, first of all, main ideas, reason 1, reason 2, and then we need to think about how we're going to explain and probably what examples we can give. So when we think about ideas, what's important? So they should be what? Your ideas should be what? Clear, absolutely. Relevant to the topic, yes. Yes, connected to the topic. Yeah, and clear progression, yes, and relevance. That's right, I agree. And what are some common difficulties about ideas? So when you brainstorm ideas, when people, students, candidates brainstorm, what difficulties do they face? So what can they face? Organizing in a logical way, agree. Okay. Topic you're not good at. Not fully familiar. Yes, that's very difficult to explain, illustrate. Right, so let's have a look. Ideas should be on topic, answer the question in the task, just exactly what you said, and the problems which you have mentioned. So I don't have any ideas. This is a very, very frequent phrase that we keep hearing from people. Yeah? And my ideas are primitive. What if my ideas are primitive? Is it a problem? So basically, let's have a look, because 2 of these problems can be solved. And even the one which you mentioned, yeah, about organizing as well. So the problem number 1, I don't have any ideas. Okay, so the test is designed for people around the world, guys. Yeah? And basically, I see that you keep adding ideas. We'll talk about them. And basically, everyone has at least some thoughts on the subject. Should have at least some thoughts. It's very unlikely that you are totally unaware of a topic that you get in the IELTS test. But in order to make sure that you have this general outlook, to expand it, read more and listen more and watch more. So whatever source, better all 3. About education, health, work matters, environment, all these topics and other technology. Yeah, so expand your world outlook by means of different sources. Here I gave just 3 sources. You may have many more better ones. Well, everybody has a lot of sources that they frequently use, but these ones could be used. Have you used all of them, or maybe some of them you haven't checked yet? So Has everyone used all these three, or maybe you haven't checked some of them? The third is not familiar. Familiarize yourself with it. It's really worth it. There are sort of arguments, real arguments on different topics, controversial topics. That's why it's called conversation. Yeah, when people. Yeah, BBC Future is a great resource. Agree, absolutely, Svetlana. Yeah, it says about many different topics and yeah, technology, maths, and whatever. Okay. The next problem is my ideas are primitive. Well, first of all, yeah, we should not forget that IELTS checks English, your English competence, not economic or scientific competence. And ideas must be, yeah, we remember that ideas must be on topic. You have to answer the question in the task, right? But they don't have to be interesting. Yeah? So even if you think that your ideas are primitive, go for them. Don't worry. Support them with clear arguments and you will succeed. I remember to distinguish more general and specific ideas. Yes, this was a very good point from Svetlana, and I want to say a few words about it. Sometimes people generalize too much. Like they may write, candidates may write something like all people in the world should be da-da-da, or all workers are tired, or something like this. So let's just think about being less direct in those generalizations about all people. You don't know about everyone, yeah, unless you have some scientific data. So try to be more specific and focused on a certain topic and on things that you can confidently say about. Otherwise, you can make some vague arguments such as there is an opinion, it is claimed that, yeah, something like that. Okay. Now, let's talk about one more thing. So this is again a full task. And here, the last line, it's present in every IELTS essay task. It says, give reasons for your answer. Okay, we have talked about it. Include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Now, from your own knowledge or experience, I want us to look at this example. So let's talk just a little bit about giving examples. This is our topic and our task, and this is an example. My mother lives in an old building that has been repaired. People from her house went on a strike not to allow it to be destroyed. She's very happy because she feels she's part of her culture. So is it a good example? No. Okay, why not? Why not? Too personal. And actually, yeah, okay, too personal. And is it specific already? Like, is it on topic? Is it relevant, completely relevant, or already starting to slide towards being off topic? Yes, emotional. No, personal must be used because of style. Yes, also style. The style should be academic, right? So let's have a look. Here, there are two examples, the same that you have already read and the one which is better. So being admired by citizens, traditional architecture contributes to the sense of belonging to a culture and promotes national identity. Yeah, remember guys that this is an example. It's not a topic sentence in a body paragraph. It's not a reason, it's just a detail already, yeah? So as a detail, it's okay even without mentioning money. So this is just praising traditional architecture and justifying the fact that it should be there. Yeah, we should not demolish old buildings. And from here, we can take one thing, that when we give examples, we can go for our ideas. This is our idea, yeah, that I have a mother, she lives in an old building, she's so happy. Why is she happy? She feels as if she's part of her culture. Okay, how do I put this into academic, nice language, impersonal, yeah, detached? And this is how you can do it. So you can use your ideas for examples, but you should wrap them up into nice language. And thus, you will make this trick, yeah? So let's move on and think. Right now, we have talked about how to do it. Let's try. So my opinion is for restoration, for the restoration of old buildings, but you can think differently. What reasons can you give to support your position? Okay, you can just write agree, or disagree with the topic of the essay and your main ideas. So what reasons can we suggest? That's the case when you probably think that your ideas are too primitive. Guys, no, they are not. Share, please do. Okay. Okay. Well, not today, yeah, probably. Okay, let's maybe someone is already typing and we will see them later. These are just suggested. Yes. Yeah, okay. Old buildings, part of cultural heritage, must be preserved, must be protected, taken care, represent our heritage. Yes. Okay, yeah, great ideas. So I have the same, have a historical and cultural value for the nation, and also can generate profit after being restored. So after being rebuilt, they can bring money, actually, not sort of compensate for what has been wasted on them. Yeah. And now we need to think how to extend, how to develop these main ideas. When we think how to extend them logically, yeah, there was a concern. So we can think about explanations. For instance, why? So I wrote here, old buildings have a historical and cultural value for the nation. Why they have a historical value, or how they have this cultural value for the nation. I have to explain. Even if I add one sentence about historical value and then one more sentence about cultural value, that will be already 3 sentences, more or less fine, yeah? Then you can also think about effects and what happens as the result of this. So if we keep these buildings, what will happen as a result of keeping those ancient buildings? So some things. So with this in mind, can you think of how to extend your ideas? What minor ideas, details spring to mind? Okay. Yeah, you don't have to support my ideas, you can support yours. Much more complicated and costly to make an old construction and build an old construction and build in new technologies and old buildings. Yeah, so basically, Svetlana, you agree with the task, right? That money should not be spent on restoration, it should be spent on new buildings, right? So your position will be agree, yeah, not disagree. You disagree with my position, agree with the task, right? Good, good. Okay, let's have a look at some small ideas that we have. Extension. So to support this one, historical and cultural value, I would write about interior, exterior, that they are sources of knowledge about the past for future generations, as some of you have mentioned, and that citizens admire these buildings and it contributes to a sense of their local identity. And then, sorry, the next one, the next idea, that how these old buildings will generate profit after being restored. They will boost tourism and leisure, and also office buildings can be rented by businesses. So I will justify that these restored buildings will be more attractive for some businesses to rent. You know? So this is how we brainstorm main ideas, then extend them. Yeah, once again, we think about explanations, why and how it is so, and we think about effects. Yeah? And if we can, we give examples. Right. Then, a part of step 4, and we have seen it actually, we have seen it in your posts, in the post that you made, is brainstorming vocabulary. It happens without any additional effort. It just pops up. Yeah? Some nice words. On top of that, you could think of how you would paraphrase keywords from the task, because you might need to say them, to use them several times in your essay. To avoid repetition, you need to know some synonyms. I have already seen some nice synonyms to the word restore, I guess, and old buildings. There was a synonym which is premises. Yeah, somebody mentioned, very nice. Yeah, think of maybe some other ones to paraphrase these words. Renovation. Somebody said exuberant, I think, about costs. Yeah, I just can't find it, but I remember. Repair, yeah, just the spelling is a bit, but yeah, repair. Let's have a look. Yeah. So you've got lots of ideas. I've got some. Yeah, okay. So here are just some ideas. Maybe a financial burden. You can allocate, invest a lot of money, yeah, and for old buildings. This ancient, in poor condition, decrepit, and I really liked your option about premises, old premises, yes. It's not exactly the same as building, but very close to it, and if used with precision, will be fine. Okay, so this was step number 4, and as a result of it, we get the whole skeleton and just something on top of it. Yeah? If you remember about grammar, we were going to plan complex structures, a variety of complex structures. Can you give an example of a complex structure? What complex structures do you know? Inversion, okay. Just the past participle. Conditionals. Okay, so you know a lot. Passives, right? Let's have a look. So I want us also to think once again from meaning into the form, not vice versa. Yeah, so when we want to talk about cause and effect, about something influencing something else, we can use conditionals, like if, then, different types, like unless, provided that. We can use this structure, the more the better, the harder the better, and so on, yeah, different variations. Then when we talk about reasons, we can use participles like doing this, or being da-da-da-da, they will do this, or having done this. Okay, you can go further. Then you can think about concession. It's when you say, yes, this is true, but this is also true. So we have seen an example of concession with although. It was a bad example, but still. Despite, even if, different concession structures with adjectives like however beautiful she may be, or beautiful as she may be, or no matter how beautiful, and things like that. And comparative structures, various. Addition, when you add things, and somebody mentioned inversion. I like this type of inversion because it's very simple if you use it in the function of addition. So not only something does this, but it also does this. Or not only will these steps, these measures lead to this, but they will also contribute to this. And easy to use. These are just some. I know that you know many more, but let's have a look. And basically how we plan complex grammar. Remember, any two or more simple ideas can be turned into a complex sentence. Any. So we have, for instance, these three simple ideas. Old buildings are important. They must be restored. It costs a lot. And we can change them into a complex sentence that they are as important as modern ones, must be restored, therefore, even if the costs are high. Yeah? So I have comparison and I have concession. The sentence is still clear and not confusing. This is important. Yeah? Make sure that your complex sentence is not confusing the reader. Let's try doing it ourselves. So old buildings preserve the spirit of their era, and they are the source of knowledge about life in the past. How would you unite this? What will you use? But moreover is a new sentence, Mikita. Yeah, be careful here. So you probably want to put moreover here, but it will be two simple sentences. Not only, interesting. We can use since. Yes, I like this idea. Because, so reason. Because not only is a nice idea in terms of grammar, but basically preserve the spirit of the era and source of knowledge about life in the past is like cause and effect, not exactly one thing and then additionally on top of that another thing. Yeah, so this is a suggestion. Having preserved the spirit of the era, these buildings serve as tangible sources of knowledge. Yeah? We can do it like that. lifestyles and habits of their post dwellers. Thus is a good idea, but once again, in the same way as moreover, there will be one sentence, full stop, and then thus, and another simple sentence. So you will have two simple sentences. It will not be a complex sentence. Be careful here. Let's think about this one. Any ideas? However, then again with however, although, yeah, I like although more, because with however, we will either have to put a full stop again, yeah, and then start with however, the next sentence, or a semicolon. With semicolon, yes. Okay, let's have a look. Even though, it's like although. And I also added something like, you know, at the very end. So even though some ancient structures need to be almost rebuilt anew, they will still represent the nation's heritage, unlike the newly erected ones. Yeah? So just some comparison to crown it all. Yeah, one more thing to go. So here I think, yeah, as well as, yes, not only, right, yeah, here I wanted to use this. You just want to use inversion here, right? Okay, yeah, good. And one more, the last one, I guess. Renovating seems wasteful, but it can become a source of income later. So here you already have but, so basically, even if we put a comma, it will be a complex sentence. Yes, despite the fact that. In spite separately, yeah, even though, good job. Let's have a look. Here there are some a bit more sophisticated structures of concession. Meaning will be the same. We can use despite, we can use even though, but we can also say something like that. However wasteful renovating old buildings may seem at the beginning, it can become a source of income, yeah, in the longer term. Or no matter how wasteful renovating may seem, blah, blah, blah. Yeah? Or just with this wasteful as renovating may seem, renovating and it can become a source. So some concession structures. So this is how we plan complex grammar. And once again, let's summarize. These are our 5 steps. And we can see that they address all 4 criteria for IELTS, for assessing IELTS essays: task achievement, coherence, cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. And my question to you now is, would you like to write an essay using these planning steps and get an immediate score? Type yes if you're interested. Yeah, okay. So I will show you something. As I told you before, we are working on a platform. We have created a course. It is a course to prepare for IELTS academic writing. That is, it deals with writing task 1 and writing task 2. There are heaps of materials there online. I'll show you now. Over here. So there it is. I'll just copy the link. You can go and check yourselves. So this is an IELTS academic writing self-study course. And if you come to this page, you can register here for free and you can try a free version of the test. Let's click on it. I'm already registered, so everything's fine with me. So here I have a plan, the plan of the course. It has an introduction, then the parts about writing task 1 visuals, the parts about essays, all types of essays discussed with lots of practice. Once again, you can have a look yourselves when you have time. And in the last part, which is also open for free in the free trial, so you don't have to pay for that, you can choose writing with instant score and get a band. So over here, we can see you can choose from 3 IELTS questions of different types. See, discuss both views and give your opinion. Then do you agree or disagree? And one more, what are the possible effects of this trend? Yeah, and why is this happening? Or alternatively, you can click on custom and write down your own topic, IELTS topic, and then write your essay and then submit it and get an instant score on all 4 criteria. So please come and check out our platform for yourselves. And maybe you have some questions. Our webinar is coming to an end. So do you have any questions? Sorry, I have to go. Yes, Anna, it was nice having you here. Thank you for the participation. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you, Alona. Yeah, guys, you were really, really active today. Great job. In the middle of July, working so hard. I think you should, all of you deserve getting a great mark, great band in your IELTS test. Okay, thank you for the help. Thank you, thank you. Right, does anyone have any questions before we go? Thank you, guys. Yeah, I wish all of you success, all the best with your IELTS preparation. And don't forget to try writing your essay and just check our platform. There's heaps of stuff over there on IELTS writing. Thank you, Helen. Yeah, because clarity is, yes, something we're working, all of us are working on clarity, yeah. Already checking, Alona. Great job. Okay. Okay, does anyone still have some questions about the webinar, about IELTS essays? CPE writing. Okay, well, we'll definitely make posts if we organize something. Thank you, Natalia. It's nice to hear such words. Thank you very much. I really hope that these pieces of advice will come in handy just on time during the test, during preparation and on the test day. Okay, yeah, so we will let you know if something else. Just check out our posts on Facebook, follow us, and we'll definitely make announcements if we prepare something for CPE or other tests or yeah, anything like that. Okay, just maybe, thank you. Just maybe 1 more minute to go. Maybe somebody can think of a question on top of what we have learned today. Okay, guys, so you will get the video and the presentation. Yes, try out our platform. So you will get here once again the video and the presentation will be emailed to you. We will add one more time the link to our platform, so you'll be able to check it out. And I wish everyone once again success and have a nice day, the rest of the day. Okay, fine. So I guess this is time to say goodbye. Okay, so thank you all for being active, for being here today, and hope to see you again sometime later. Bye-bye.